Hello and welcome back, all you beautiful, wonderful, fantastic people, and I am so excited to have you here today. I hope that you guys have had a great weekend. I realize that it is Tuesday, but all the same, I hope that Monday wasn't too bad and that the rest of your week goes well also. But jumping into today's video, I kind of decided to free flow a bit today. I do have a couple pieces that I'm planning, actually planning for, I can't say the first time, but it's pretty rare for me to actually sit there and decide to do thumbnails and kind of figure out the way I want to go about with a piece, unless I kind of have an idea in my head that I really want to make sure I can transfer to paper in a way. It's so funny how it kind of works where you're like, I have this idea in my brain, I should just be able to draw it out, and then it doesn't come out the way you planned ever. But I think that's also kind of the fun of it, and seeing how your brain translates something that you've thought about into something that is physically on paper. And yeah, so I'm excited about those upcoming. For today, I really just decided to free flow. I wanted to do a bigger piece in the sense of everything else I've been doing has kind of been more so along the like 6x9 type size. So today I decided to do a 9x12 and just draw and see where it went. And as you can see, I kind of started drawing and I had a body shape going and then decided to change it up and do another drawing of it. So I just erased the entire initial sketch and went along with another sketch, and it's kind of, it worked out though in a way because I like the design of where this is going and having fun. The only thing that I find myself a little disappointed in is that I'm so frequently like slowly moving the paper down in the camera more towards myself, and I realized that I in that way lost like the bottom 2 inches of the piece as I was recording it, which I realize isn't necessarily a big deal, but it's one of those where I was looking back as I was editing and I was like, dag nabbit, of course I would do something like that. But it was really a fun little simple piece to do. I had Pin Up on the Brain, admittedly, and I realized that kind of correlates with like my style and everything that I personally love as far as even just fashion goes. I very much so adore like the 40s 50s looks, and have been also experimenting more so in that sense of finding a style for myself and having fun with it. And that's where I really just enjoyed playing up today and giving her like that cute little A-line dress and the over the top kind of curly hair where it has the swirls in the hair, and having fun with it and just going for it and not really having a plan like usual in necessarily how I decided to play it up. I really wanted to give the dress like a true watercolor kind of look, so that's why you'll see that I painted the flowers first and then I did kind of an overlay of color and just went for it in that sense and washed out a few of the flowers that I painted. But I like the way that happened. I like the effect of it, and I think that it made it a little bit softer in some areas, and I went over it a little bit in other areas to give it more of like a harder line and a heavier color, and just really playing it up. And I've been working on really going back and kind of making some of the dark shadows truly darker and like doing this bounce back and forth thing, and it's been a lot of fun and I really enjoyed it. Yesterday, it's funny because I did record this yesterday and then did all the editing yesterday as well, and then today, this that I'm posting, that you are seeing this, is when I'm doing the voiceover and everything. And partly that is because yesterday I actually decided to go out and treat myself in a sense, and I got my hair done at a salon, and I cut off like probably 6 inches. I could, let's just say that my hair was past my shoulder line, and now it is like to my chin line. So that was fun and different, and I think it came out really cute, and it's very airy. For the first time ever, I decided to get what is called an undercut, which is where they like shave part of your head, and I got the little like triangle in the back of my head, which is where I have very thin hair. It's very fine. So even though it's fine, I have a lot of it, and the back of my head gets very hot, and shaving off basically half of that has made a huge difference. It's something I'm finding myself getting used to, but I love the way that it turned out. Anyways, that was a total sidetrack. But yeah, so I recorded it, and then I left, went and got my hair done and everything, and then came back and did all the editing. And by the time I finished all the editing, it was late at night, and I didn't want to do the voiceover and post too late, so I decided to save the voiceover for today and get it out a bit earlier to you guys. And also with that, I'm able to then sit and record after I post, so I can kind of start working on the next video for this week. But I really enjoyed playing with this one, as you see the watercolor effect in her dress. And the one thing I did kind of realize was I wasn't sure on how I wanted to do the background. So I kind of started just like, I laid down a couple flowers, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. And I was like, oh, what if I add some spots? Maybe that will help. And you can see that I kind of let them dry and did this pencil outline, which I just took the black Prismacolor Kohl Erase pencil and did the outline, and realized that I needed more for the background. I didn't like the way that it had turned out. So I decided to just kind of play around and decided to take this green color, this like olive green color that I have in my palette that I had pre-mixed for the last video with her green top, and throw it into the background instead of as just dots into these cute little stripes. And I think it actually brought it together really nicely and kind of played up the background as being a bit more busy, but not so busy that it takes away from the forefront from the picture that you should be looking at. And I feel like it actually enhances it and kind of makes it pop a little bit more. And I was really happy about the way it turned out, considering it was just like a whim choice that I made, but that I was very happy that I made. And I think that the interesting thing with this particular piece is that this is the first piece that I genuinely decided not to go back and do any white highlighting with a Jelly Roll pen or some of my white bleed proof ink. I just went with it, colored the whole piece in watercolor, added a little bit of like darkening on the lines with the Prismacolor, and then just left it. And I like the way that it is. There's not really a whole lot of sharp lines. I did sharpen up the face a little bit with a Pigma Micron, but for the most part I kept it real nice and soft, and I think she came together beautifully. But of course, as always, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please remember that you are amazing and beautiful and unique, and there's no one else like you. So I hope that you have a fantastic day. As always, thank you for watching, take it easy, and I will see you in the next video.